So, good morning. Welcome back to the first official full day of Creative Brain Week. For those of you that I've not met in the room or online, I'm Dominic Campbell. I'm your occasional host. I pop up and down over the 3 days. Creative Brain Week is a packed program with artists and neuroscientists connecting here, physically in Dublin, but also online. So we welcome the online audience wherever you are in the ether. And we have the same pattern, I suppose, for the next 3 days. We start each day with this kind of informal check-in session. So I'm delighted to be joined by people on stage for this. And we do this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. There's then a little break while we turn over and do some technical things. And then between 10 and 12, we have 2 hours of presentation, 2 hours of talk, I guess, 2 hours of extraordinary people talking about the work that they're doing. From 12 till 1, we have living labs. So this is a chance for people who, like me, are not necessarily great at learning by writing and reading, that experience the world, that make things, that are creative or artists, and they go on outside in the exhibition spaces. So sorry, online people, not for you. And I'll talk a little bit more about those by lunch. You get a choice of about 4 or 5 to do in that 12 till 1 slot. 1 till 2 is lunch. So sometimes living labs run over because people get very excited. And then the afternoon is a series of really panels and discussions. Each day takes a different theme, as we said yesterday. Today is all about attention. Tomorrow is all about connection. And then Thursday is all about love and when it might not be enough. So, one of the great joys of Creative Brain Week is to put together those very different kind of disciplines and very different skills and experiences. How do the arts and the neuroscientists connect, usually at the level of creativity? So I am joined this morning by Lorina Naci and Agustin Ibanez. And I'll just set a little scene for this. We wanted to try and have neuroscientists pop up throughout the program like a Greek chorus, and that works. And the reason we wanted to do this is because the most interesting conversations I have with you are the ones that are a little bit relaxed, maybe over a glass of wine or in a bar or something. Yeah? Because when you talk full-on neuroscientist, as an artist, I go, that happens. And when I talk as a full-on artist, as my friend said, he said, when you talk, he said it's great. When the neuro-linguists talk, when the specific neurologists talk, I understand them. He said, but Dominic, when you talk, all I hear is rainbows and unicorns. So we know we have to try and make this bridge. So, welcome. How would you introduce yourselves? Lorina, what would you say?
So, if the mic works.
Yeah.
Oh, there we are. So good morning, everybody. Thank you, Dominic, for inviting me to be part of Creative Brain Week. My name is Lorina Naci. I'm Associate Professor at the School of Psychology and at the Global Brain Health Institute here at Trinity College, Dublin.
And what do you spend your time working on mostly at the moment?
So lots of things. Mostly in terms of research, I look at how attention is manifest in the brain. With regards to understanding consciousness, and also with regards to understanding how attention doesn't, function so well as we age or have various types of conditions in later life.
Fantastic. Got that bit. Agustin.
So, hi everybody. Thank you, Dominic, for the invitation. It's a great pleasure to me. I am Agustin Ibanez. I am from Argentina, neuroscientist. I am working Latin American and global approaches to brain health and dementia. I'm trying to understand the impact of disparities and diversity in the brain, how they impact aging and how they impact also dementia. But I am really a fan of this guy. I am trying to learn how to, bring arts into the field of neuroscience. I'm especially interested in trying to understand the neurophysiological process that allows art to provide positive changes.
Fantastic. I'm still with you. At some point I will lose you, and that's fine, because that's where my learning happens. So Lorina, tell me, what happens as the brain ages? How does attention change? Or tell me any bit of that.
Okay. So a lot of things change as we age, including attention. There are forms of attention that become stronger, and there are forms of attention that decline. I think what's incredible about attention is its ability to really brighten the things that we are interested in. So this is known as a cocktail party effect. So obviously there is great silence and a wonderful atmosphere here of attention. But when we are in a party, for example, there is a huge cacophony of sounds around us. And however, we have the ability to really focus on the interlocutor, and thereby it is as if everything around us disappears. I find this extremely fascinating. And really what happens in the brain when we are experiencing the cocktail party effect is an amplification of the brain activity only with regards to the things that we are listening to. So I think this is an amazing process. Does that make sense?
Total. So if we're focused on music, that would exclude other things. We zone in, yeah? If we do it on arts, so in the creative world, we would talk about agency. We would talk about those moments when you really get into reading a book and you forget what time it is, yeah? So it's that kind of thing that we're talking about. And then how do you analyze? How do you measure? How do you understand?
Yeah, so that's the great part of it that really interests me is, okay, this is happening, but what is actually happening in the brain? How does the human brain enable this? So what we know there is that, the activity in the brain, that obviously the brain is very complex, it's engaged in lots of different computations, but if there is a particular stimulus that we're really attending to, that activity is amplified and refined in the brain. So what I find extremely fascinating about this is that if we then have sort of a window to look at this brain activity or to measure it, we can really have a window to decode people's thoughts. So even if you don't tell me what you're thinking about, if I can peek into your brain and see where those, little bumps of attention are and what your mind is doing, I can read your thoughts. So I think that is really incredible. I've used this in my work.
Yeah. Now, for those of you that suddenly had a panic moment, the reason this is medically important is for people who are not able to communicate, yeah? And that's right, part of what you do. So tell me about people who can't communicate. Might be a benefit.
Yeah, so one of the kind of extreme examples of using this power of attention to really understand people's thoughts is in individuals who after a severe brain injury become behavior non-responsive, and they're not able to convey their consciousness, their ability to understand the world through language or behavior, and that's why they're called behavior non-responsive. And what we can do with these individuals is we can present them with instructions, such as, in a stream of sounds, attend to the words that are of interest to you, or if you want to answer yes or no, attend to the word that is your answer, whether it's yes or no. And then we can actually measure this when we put people in the scanner, in the brain scanner. We can capture this activity, and then we can actually use it to communicate with people through interpreting what they're saying in response to our questions, and then posing other questions to them.
And so this builds on something Alejandro was talking about. Alejandro will be joining us on Wednesday, who's a neural engineer. So he works with machinery that can measure blood flow, or iron in the blood flow, or electromagnetic wave, tiny, tiny things. Agustin, I can't quite keep up with all the things you do, and I'm a huge fan of both of you. But with you, there's a breadth to what you do. So on the one hand, you can be really specific, but you're also looking at what impacts the brain in a broader way. I wonder whether you might talk about that.
Yeah, sure. I will say that there are like two ways to understand some of the things that I am doing that I don't understand very well. One is to understand how attention or emotion or flow or consciousness or memory work together, right? Yeah. We tend to understand that it as a mosaic way, it's lots of things that are separate for other functions. But now in the everyday behavior, in the cognition in the wild, we use all together, right? And thinking attention. Attention can be captured by a stimuli, right? So if, I don't know, if a spider appears here, your attention is going there.
Yeah.
Or if you are a musician, you can focus your top-down attention on specific sounds, and you can do it with an extreme precision with a completely different pattern.
Yeah.
But this is absolutely synergetically integrated with other cognitive processes. And this is what we don't understand yet in neuroscience, right? So we don't understand yet cognition in the wild because we don't have good methods yet to understand the ecology of mind. So this is something that really captured my interest, using more ecological approaches, using computational models, or using theory to try to understand, the blending of meaning, the making sense in the mind, how working there. And this is one side. And the other side is how environment impacts not only your brain, your health, your cognition. Cognition is a physiological process as is a cultural process. We tend to split, to divide, as we divide components of cognitive that are required to study or to understand. This process comes really together. So if your metabolic process is affected, your mind is affected, your cognitive is affected, your mood is affected. If, the socioeconomic level, it's, impacting across your lifespan, you will have impairments in cognition, that's for sure. But also you will have resilience, you will have, non-formal education opportunities. So we need to understand, again, this ecology of mind between biology and culture.
Brilliant. Lorina?
I think that's a really important area, and especially is an area that we haven't really been able to touch so far. As you said, there's been a separation between what happens in the lab and what happens in the rest of our lives, which is 99%. So it's extremely important, number one. And number two, we are understanding there's a bit of a revolution in biomedical science in terms of democratization, of access, of rights, and including of representation of groups that traditionally haven't been studied because they were the people who didn't have the time to come and participate in research, or they were people that, for one reason or another, were overtly excluded. So this is so important that now we are looking at the impact of disparity. In fact, if we really want to understand about the population at large and have our findings in the lab really translate to the world, then we need to really understand how unrepresented populations, including from the biological sex for females, all the way to different races and ethnicities and populations that are hard to reach, like islanders or people in various parts of the world that we haven't previously looked at. So I think this is an extremely important area in which neuroscience is heading, and it's really, really deserving to be funded.
And it's one of the things that gets picked up throughout the course of today. So this broadening of attention by neuroscience, this broadening of attention and belonging, I guess. We have about 2 minutes. So in the work that you're doing at the moment, what's the most exciting thing? Agustin first.
So right now, the most exciting thing from my week, I will say, is a paper that we are just finishing that we use the Gini coefficient. Do you know the Gini coefficient? It's a kind of macro-social measure of inequality. And we compare data with patients with aging and MRI and dementia. And we shown that the Gini coefficient, the level of structural inequality have a huge impact in the volume of the brain and in the functional connectivity of the brain in aging, but more accentuated in dementia. And this is a linear correlation across 15 countries. So it's a very nice example of how culture shapes brain health and disease.
Comes out this week?
We are going to submit. Probably we'll reject it 2 or 3 times, and then we will get us.
For those of you that don't understand how academic processes work, that's it. Lorina, most exciting thing?
So the most exciting thing for me is looking at attention and how it evolves in infants. So, we want to look at the possibilities. We want to look at the ability to transform ourselves. And some Buddhist saying that I probably paraphrase, there's something saying to the extent that we are able to change ourselves on an everyday basis, that we have the capacity to really transform ourselves. And what I think is really incredible is that When it comes to the infant mind, we really don't have any understanding of how some of these basic processes, including attention, that is very, very important for consciousness, and substitute that with our capacity to understand the world and behave well in the world and optimize our potential. And we don't really understand how that develops. So if we can transform ourselves at any point in time, our capacity to transform ourselves and also transform the world is the largest at the beginning of our lives when we are infants. So, I mean, on that note, that's the most exciting thing I'm looking at the moment.
What a great way to start. So as I said, this is the relaxed, gentle check-in morning session, but it moves quite fast. So I want to thank you both, Lorina, Agustin. Sorry, Brain. I can take your mics back. So we move between different, disciplines and modes. We move between different ways of understanding the world. I said that the day has a particular shape, and so I have to check notes. And part of that shape is moving between different ways of understanding the world, different modalities, I guess, different ways that your brain works, your body works, that you do, as Agustin was talking about, this mosaic of how your brain understands the world. So I would like to welcome to the stage a totally different set of skills. I would like to welcome Sylvia O'Brien. Come join me. So Sylvia is many, many things. She is a soprano. She is also an expert in the voice and how the voice works. She's based most of the time, some of the time, across the road in the Royal Irish Academy of Music, where this week we have the group from the WHO, Jamil, writing the Lancet paper that we talked about yesterday. So they will be surrounded by the sounds of angels. They will be sounding beautiful sounds. I'm going to get out of the way and hand over to you.
Okay. So a very good morning, goedemorgen, guten Morgen, buenos dias, bonjour, to everybody here. I would like, while I'm talking, I want you to get rid of the things you're holding. I want you to get a little bit comfortable because I will ask you to stand up, and I want you to have at least about this much width between you and the next person, and I think there's enough to do that. Spill into the aisles if you can. So this is an interactive process. Somebody asked me earlier on, what am I going to talk about? I am not, you're going to sing. So I think I'm in the right place. I was thinking about, I feel completely intimidated. I know nothing about what, completely intimidated. I have no idea about the back end of the computer, as I call it. I just deal with this end. So you're going to stand up if you can. Okay, we're going to start the morning with a little, it's a quasi Jane Fonda-esque thing. We're going to put our hands together, up to the ceiling, turn them, and a circle, okay? If you can. None of this business, all the way up, okay? If we can, all the way up to the ceiling. Now we're going to add a bit of breathing to that, okay? And if you can, get a sturdy leg underneath you, not too tight, yeah? Just a little bit relaxed, okay? Hip width apart, as Jane would say. Okay, now up again, we're going to breathe through the nose. And then out. Okay, so we're getting this going, okay? The voice is not about, warming up is not about the chords warming up. It's about the body, yeah? The whole body is part of the voice, okay? In through the nose. Out through the mouth. I want you to be conscious of that breathing, okay? Because breathing then, we're sharing this breathing. We are being together. We are getting unified because we're going to be singing together. So we need to be on it, okay? And again, in through the nose. Now we're going to take it to the right, my right or your right, whatever. And we're going to pull the elbow. You see, there's the attention there, you see? Okay, now pull the elbow. We're stretching this part of the anatomy here. Just expanding, getting room for breathing, because you're going to need that for a long note, okay? And then we're going to go to the other side. And we're going to breathe there. So, where are we breathing? When we sing, we should be breathing into here, not into here, because we pump this way. So we need to be breathing into here. So I want you to take your hands. This is a full-on breathing lesson. I'm not diluting it for you guys. So hands here, breathe in. Not too much, enough. And we pump. Yeah, we pull in our abs to pump. In again. And pump. Again. And I want you to slow everything down to be listening to each other. And to be slowing down to be in this room, not to be in the next session, to be in this room. Again. Okay. So we're going to start doing real exercises now, vocal exercises. We're going to do them on ah. Everybody say ah. There we are. That's the vowel we're looking for. And I have no idea of anybody's capability in here. So we're all creating together. Clues in the title. So we're going to do just a semi-scale, okay? 5 notes. Ah, 2, 3, 4. Ah, potential, and 3 and 4 and ah. We're going up in semis and 4 and ah. I know that's a bit of a stretch. And 3 and 4 and ah. Some good singers. And 2 and 3 and 4 and ah. This is very good. This bodes very well for what I have in mind. Okay, so we're going to do an arpeggio, and this is also for a reason. Arpeggio is the skipping one, so that's like doing, big leaps. So we're going to go, ah, are we ready? And go, ah. Yes, you get it, up a semi and ah. And get your pitch and ah. Come on, commit and go ah. So before you get ready for any of these exercises, we need to be doing the getting ready here. So that's why you get 3 and 4. It's not for nothing, yeah? 3 and go ah, ta ta and ah. I'm hearing a lot over here, not much over there, and go ah. And the last and go ah. I should have stopped the previous one. But anyway, so here we go. So I was trying to figure out what on God's green earth am I going to do here this morning to share with you something. Well, we've got Creative Brain Week, we've got attention is one of the words. What was the other one? Connection and love. So we have to do all of that this morning. So I had thought of a song that maybe people might know. Can we pop the words up now? So I have to pick the right key for this particular ensemble. Again, I'm thinking on my feet, creativity, thinking on my feet. And so let's go back. I really am thinking on my feet here. I don't know what key's going to suit you guys. Do you know what I mean by key? So if I choose a key too high, we're all scuppered, okay? So ta 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 ta. Is that too high? Or ta 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 ta. Maybe that one we go. Now, there are components to this. We have the main melody. Does everybody know this song, by the way? Yeah, and if you don't, you can sing along, but you'll get to know it because we're going to repeat it, okay? What time are we now? 10 minutes left. So now we're going to go, when I wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and something without warning, love, bears heavy on my mind. Chorus. Then I look at you, do-do-do-do, and the world's all right with me, do-do-do-do. Just one look at you, do-do-do-do, and I know it's going to be a lovely day. Okay, so we've got a lovely, yes, we do want do-do-do's. So we need people to do do-do-do-do. We need also, now, here's the 80s step for anyone's a little bit younger than that, okay? We're just going to go do-do-do-do-do, Get clicking, dum dum, bum ba dum. Not too much, da da dum dum. Not too over. No, don't overexert yourself. Da 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 da. Keep it tidy. Do 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 do. Because you're going to sing. Do 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 do. Where's the do 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 do? Do 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 do. When the day love, are you saying morning love? Do 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 do. And the sunlight hurt my eyes. Do do bum. And something without warning love. Do 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 do. There's heavy on my mind. Do do. Then I look at you. Do 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 do. Thank you. And the world's all right with me. Do 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 do. Oh, just one look at you. Fill in the gaps. Do 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 do. And I know it's gonna be do 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 do. A lovely gonna be lovely day. So here we go. Okay, you've got the gist of it. Okay, stop. Oh, that was okay. Just don't take it. So we have to have at least 2 layers going on. So we have to a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Okay, okay. So I could split it up like a school teacher. Am I going to do that? Or are we going to take responsibility to be in the room, ownership of the space, and if you don't hear it being sung, you fill in the gap. So all the gaps need to be filled in, all the do. We need to get the tapping and the clicking going on, and we also need, what else am I going? Do. Now that's a bit low for me, so lads, I need you, because it goes do. Yeah, I'm a soprano, okay? So we have a lovely day, we have the lovely day. So we have 2 verses. So, okay, I think I will do this. Right down here, you're going to do long note, first verse, and then the lovely day, second. You guys, the opposite, work it out. Okay? Now, you're all the brains over there, I'm just, yeah, okay. So, are we ready? I'm going to do it, okay? I'm going to give 3, 4, and then we're going to start the tapping and the clicking and the do, okay? Men, I need you for the low bits, yeah, because I can't, yeah, okay. 3, 4, do, when the wake up in the morning, love, and the sunlight hurts my eyes, and someone without morning love, less heavy on my mind, then I look at you, and the world's all right with me, oh, just one look at you, and I know it's gonna be a lovely day, 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 a lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day. Come on. That was a bit, okay. And second verse. Where's the second verse? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. When the day do seems possible to fade. Do. When someone else instead of you do. All seems to know the way. Do. Then I look at you. Do. And the world's all right with me. Do. Oh, just one look at you. Do. And I know it's gonna be. Ready for the change? You're on the long one. A lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. Keep it going. A lovely day. Support. Keep it going. Break it and do it again. A lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. Lovely day. One more time for the back seats. A lovely day. lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, lovely day, a lovely day. Okay. Very good. I think that's time. So that involved a little bit of concentration, quite a bit of attention, and the physicality. So when you're involved in music, it does kind of take up all your focus. Yeah. There you go.
Thank you so much.
Not
Thank
at
you.
all.
And also, thank you for dismissing the fib that people have that the arts are kind of an easy option. You've got to pay attention. We just do it in different ways. So we are now, or we should be, at about 9:45. We now have a 15-minute thing where we roll over and change stuff. You are welcome to stay in here or take 10 minutes break. And we start back at 10 with a 2-hour slot. 2 hours is the longest we will ever ask you to sit still, because I can't sit still for more than about 10 minutes. At the end of that, just for awareness, so outside, there are some beautiful exhibitions, which I will talk about later on. Do take time to go and look at those when you get a break. In those spaces, there will also be, at 12 o'clock, 4 living labs. So straight outside the door will be the musician Mike Hanrahan, who is trying to explore what is the sound of dementia. We know what it looks like. What does it sound like? In the space down the back will be the beautifully toned Sue Mayo, who was singing in my ear. And Sue has many projects and huge experience. And over the next 3 days, she will invite you to explore breaks and joins. What is broken and can be fixed? What is broken and should be let go? And what should be broken? That noise. Yeah. Upstairs, Trudy Meehan in the one of the indoor spaces at the top of the stairs. And Trudy is professor of positive psychology, and she set this question, which was, what does love feel like in the body? So she's inviting you to do body mapping and use all sorts of creative processes to find out, what does sensation become language? What happens? And then next to that, when we originally started thinking about attention, we decided that we might have 2 parallel events, and we've ended up with more than 2. But we were going to have one where people would sign up, and for 1 week they would do one thing and only one thing. Their attention would slow down, and it changed slightly. So instead, the lovely Barbara Ann from the Irish Museum of Modern Art will invite you to look at a piece of work from the Irish Museum of Modern Art and sense the slowing down that can happen when you engage in other people's creative work. So you get a choice of where you go. But for now, 15 minutes break. Thank you very much.